Happy Earth Day! Did you know that today's dairy farms are making more milk with less cows? So I wanted to show you guys, tell you some few facts I wrote down on here. In 1944, the U.S. dairy cow population was at 25 million cows. And today we are at 9 million cows. So that is like a third of the cows. And look at this fact right here, 60% more milk with a third of the cows. That's amazing. You know what that means? That means that we're using less land, less water, less feed, less everything, and being way more efficient with how we make your milk. Even in the last 10 years, we have seen so much improvement by just with the farmers using the technology and just using better methods and better practices and how we care for the cows, feed the cows, and just using all this data and research to help us take care of the cows so much better. So you can enjoy your glass of milk when you get that from the store today. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more because Earth Day is such a big celebration for us all. And at the farm, we got something way back in 2007 called this farm is environmentally verified. We went through the Michigan Environmental Agriculture Assurance Program, so we call it MEAP, but what that did is we had the Michigan Department of Agriculture come out to our farm, and they helped us think of ways that we could be proactive and just improve our practices and some of our just policies around the farm so we could be better stewards. And it took us about 4 years to meet all the requirements, and finally we were able to put a sign out in front of the farm. We'll show you that later, and it says that this farm is environmentally verified. When we got that, we thought it was going to be about 25 feet by 50 feet long, but it's just a little sign that goes out front just to show our neighbors that we care. So I brought you guys out here by the creek because this is a big piece of what we did to get that environmental verification. We used to have a big red barn at the top of this hill right here, and we had some heifers, so those are the younger or teenage cows, and they lived in the basement of that barn, and they'd walk down this hill right here, go across the little stream, and then be out in this big, nice open pasture. And when they came out to see if we could get certified, this is one of the areas that they were concerned about. They said the animals couldn't have free access to waterways. They were worried about maybe the cow's manure getting into the creek. So they said, why don't you build some bridges and put up some fences? And we said, well, why don't we just put a fence up and then the cows can't even get to the creek. But they measured from the barn down to the creek, and they said because this steep was so steep and such a big slope, and then with the barn being so close to the hill, they said if there was a really catastrophic rain, the manure could still run off and get to the creek. So we ended up building a new barn just set back away from the creek, and then we moved the calves into that barn, and then we're able to get our beautiful sign. So it's just kind of interesting because you think about in 1915, my great-grandpa really picked this spot because of its location right next to the creek. He thought it was a great spot for the cows to be in the shade of the trees, to get their fresh water. And here we are 105 years later, and we still want to take good care of the cows. We want to keep them nice and cool, give them access to fresh water, but we do that so much differently than they did 105 years ago. So while our farm has really changed how we do things, the why hasn't changed at all. We still have that core value of God-honoring conduct, being good stewards of the land, and being focused on the cows, making sure our cows are cared for every single day, and Earth Day too. So I hope you guys have a great day. Get out in nature and enjoy.